In our last Mishnah, we discussed the idea that there was a machloket about whether an Av uben, a father and a son, can testify together about a dut, about seeing the new moon. Our Mishnah is a continuation. We're in Rosh Hashanah, Perek Aleph, Mishnah, 8th Mishnah, in the first chapter of Rosh Hashanah, which is also going to discuss the nature, what is the nature of the testimony, who cannot, and by definition then, who can testify. Now, in order to introduce this topic, we have to see a pasuk in Shmot, Perek Chaf Gimel. The Torah says the following: Lo tisa shem hashav al teshet yadcha im rasha liod ed chamas. You should not utter a false report. Thou shalt not utter a false report. Put not your hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. Ed chamas. You cannot be with a rasha. So any rasha is by definition excluded from being an aid. So what's the definition of a rasha? So the Kahati in his introduction says, first of all, anyone who is chayav malkot, who does an isur, is chayav malkot, that is obligated in lashes, he's out. He can't be included, okay? That's pasul le'edut, because it says, v'haya im ben hakot rasha. Or if you did something obviously worse, you're chayav karet, chayav mita. So if you're chayav malkot, karet, or mita, you're out. I'll just write down on the list. So what's pasul le'edut? Let's do that in Hebrew. Let's see if I can get the Hebrew. Here we go. Psula edut. Okay. Chayav, someone who's chayav mita, or karet, or malkot. But then there's a whole nother list. Also, if you're a ganav or a gazlan, if you're convicted of theft, then we can't trust you because obviously you'll do things for money, which really calls into question why so many people in the civil justice system are accepted as the witnesses when they have obviously interest. If you have an interest, how could you accept somebody's testimony? Our Mishnah is actually a direct lift from a Mishnah in Sanhedrin, which talks about other people that Chazal said are in pasul le'edut. They're not fit for testimony. And these are psulim midrabanan. I'll explain them. Elu psulin. These are ha-psulin. It's not ha-psulin. There are many other psulim as well that can't testify. Ha-mesachek b'kubya. Someone who plays kubya or dice. Someone who plays dice. I.e., he's a gambler. Now, he says dice are atzamot, bones, shemesachkim be'em be'erabon, that they play the bet. V'amur Rabbanan, the Rabbanan said, asmachta lo kanya. Why is playing dice? So someone who gambles is really interesting. If you gamble, you say, I'll bet you $200 that the Redskins are going to win this weekend. So now, the Gemara says, I think, the only reason I'm betting is because I'm sure I'm going to win, because if I didn't think I was going to win, I wouldn't give you the money. So when you take the money, that's called asmachta. When I give the money, it's asmachta, based on a samchut, on an assumption. And the Chazal say asmachta lo kanya. And therefore, even though I'm giving you the money, I don't want you to have the money. That's not koneh. And therefore, when you take it, the person who takes the money is a gozel, is a gazlani midrabanan. We said one of the people on the list of people who are pasul le'edut is a gazlan. That's one interpretation of Mesachek B'Kubya. I just want to point out, the Gemara in Sanhedrin says there's another reason. And the other reason would be the fisha eno osek bi yishuvosh olam. I'm not going to write that down because he doesn't engage in yishuvosh olam, the inhabitation of the world. It's talking about someone who is a mesachek b'kubya professionally. A professional gambler doesn't know what money is really worth because it just comes and goes. And therefore, what does he care? He'll lie. But that means if somebody who gambles, it's not somebody who gambles, intermittently or now and then, but somebody who does it professionally. Similarly, umalvei biribit, someone who lends money biribit. Ribit is with interest. Lo kaze galu gazan di oraita limif. So it's not something, he's not called a gazan di oraita, even though it's asur midoraita to lend with interest. Why? Dahaminafshe yahiv le. Because the person who's giving the money, who's paying the interest, is giving it willingly. But nonetheless, those who lend and borrow with interest are violating in isur dioraita. Umafriche yonim, bird flyers. This was another form of gambling that they had. Okay? So charei shvi'it, people who sold or produce on shvi'it. That's a din d'Rabanan. Okay, you're only allowed to give. You're allowed to eat the fruits of shvi'it. You're not allowed to sell them. You're not allowed to engage in commerce. The Bartenura says, "Well, the fisha nechshedu kol elu la'avor al dat machmat mamon." These people are people who violated religious principles for money. Therefore, chashudim liot mi'idim sheker al shochad. Maybe somebody will pay them to witness, to testify falsely. Va'avadim were slaves. Slaves were they were psulim deraita. They were pasul. Now it's really interesting that the idea of chashudin al dat machmat mamon, me'idim sheker. Why would you be me'id sheker? Why would you testify falsely about the moon? It's one thing, the guy pays you, okay, pay me, I'll get out of owing money or whatever. We're talking about testifying for the moon. Hopefully, the Mishnah will answer that. They were very, very suspect of people testifying, as we'll soon see. Zaklal, this is the rule. Kol idut she'ein ha'isha kshera la. If there's testimony that a woman is not kasher, there are certain testimonies, we'll see in the Bar Tunur first in a second, that women can testify. Meaning, if it's a testimony that was required in court, 2 witnesses, afhein einan ksherim. These people, all this list of the gamblers and the loaners with interest, etc., they were also pasul. Okay, what is the idut isha shisha kshera? Woman can testify, shemet ba'ala, her husband died. If a woman, you don't have to have 2 edim that a man died. She herself can testify that her husband is dead, and she's reliable. If a woman was accused of having an illicit relationship, and she can testify that the woman actually engaged in the relationship, and then they don't do the sota process. These psulin dirabanan are also ksheri. They can also testify about those things. About psurim ba'aveira min Torah. But someone who is mamash pasur, remember we said the people who violated the or chayab mitah, and this whole list, those people, lo hichshu chachamim be'edut isha. They can't testify about anything, even in edut isha. All right, we'll stop here. Dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Have a good day.